Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a walk around on the Born Free here and then start it up, drive it down the highway, let everybody get a feel for what it's like and going down the road and getting in it. This is the entrance coming into the back and the kitchen there. And our back side. And there's the own-in generator. We're going to plug that in and spark it up here in just a minute. But for now, we're going to start it. And I'm going to adjust my steering back down. It's a hot day. Crank up that AC unit because that's important. So all the gauges firing up. Let's see. We're gonna run through the gears just so you can get a feel for it. Some backwards, neutral, drive, second, and first. Alright, we're going to take off down the highway. It accelerates nicely through the gears, gets up to the speed of traffic without any problem. It's like driving a big pickup truck or a Suburban or something, except it's, got a extra 6 or 8 feet on the back of it, depending on what kind of truck you have. This to show you what it's like to drive through traffic. We just made that light. Technically speaking, maybe we didn't. Kind of hard to say. For our little town, this is a fairly high traffic area. It's right in front of all the big box stores, and the Tinker Air Force Base is right across the street. So there's a lot of traffic coming in and out of onto this particular street and this little stretch of highway. So it's a good test to show that, when you need to get on the highway, if you're in a bigger city or in a tight spot or whatever, that this RV will do the job. It doesn't take very long at all to get you up to speed and find your way into your spot in traffic. Turn that AC down a bit. That's new. That AC unit is brand new, or within the last 3 months new anyway. So it puts out good cool air, which is nice. In Oklahoma, is like a lot of other parts of the country, we get 90 plus degree temperatures. Alright, we're going to merge onto I-40 in the middle of the day. It's not rush hour, but it's fairly moderate traffic. And we are now at 55 as we merge, and I just set back off of it. The speed limit here is 60 actually, and we're going 65 now. And we didn't have any trouble at all merging into traffic back there. And although I'm not going to do it one-handed with the phone, I think that might be pushing my luck a bit too much. The speed control works fine, cruise control, so I could put this on 70 miles an hour and we would just hum right on down the highway, and it does just fine. I don't like to take it, it'll go, I've gone 80 in it before. That's going downhill out in Nevada somewhere, I think, but I don't really like to do that. The whole purpose of the RV for me is to enjoy the trip as much as the destination, and so that sort of means for me to enjoy the ride, see the scenery. We're going to get off here and slip on down. Looks like we have hit a bit of a rush. Now as you're driving, I think this will work. Let's just see how it looks. You're driving down the road in this thing. Remember, this is the unit that's got the glass roof. And so if you look up, you can see the high lines, but I'm looking at a clear sky and the sun over there, and it's just beautiful up there. And so when you're cruising, especially in some place that's scenic, the mountains, or at night you can see the stars out in the desert and that kind of stuff. It's really nice. It's exceptionally nice, and it's tinted. Doesn't get too hot normally, but like I said, out in the middle of maybe Nevada on Highway 50, out somewhere in the middle of nowhere, when it's 110 degrees out, and I have a snapper. There's the snaps, and so I snap a topper on this that basically makes it like a traditional cab. It still gives me probably 10 inches of headroom, but it covers up the sun and keeps that out. And normally the regular air conditioner blowing on high will cool down this entire unit, but if for any reason it doesn't, if you're just, if the vehicle's been parked in the sun and it's superheated and it just doesn't seem to want to cool down, it's 100 degrees outside and you're in the desert, then all you have to do at that point is just fire up the generator, and you can run the auxiliary air conditioner, which is right up there, right behind you, and you can drive down the road with that generator going without any problem. It runs off the same gas tank as the vehicle. It will shut itself off as soon as you get to a quarter of a tank, more or less, somewhere in that range. And that's a safety feature that they put into it to keep it from you accidentally draining out all of your gas, so you can't drive the vehicle because you forgot and left the generator on maybe while you're camping at night or something. So as long as you have the gas tank filled, above a half a tank, the generator works just fine and doesn't use much gas. I think a half a gallon a day or something. But nevertheless, it will use, it'll drop your gas mileage probably a mile per gallon going down the road, something like that. So just be aware that it will use gas, but it won't take your gas all the way out. It'll shut itself off when you get to 3/4 or 1/4 of a tank. I'm vamping here waiting for this stoplight so I can get pulled over somewhere safe, and then we'll fire up the generator and see how it goes. It usually just starts right up without any problem. I think if I turn that air conditioner off, maybe you can hear the engine. There's no engine noise. There's no clicking, no clunking, no tappets rattling or any of that kind of stuff. The engine is strong, and I think it's in good shape for many miles to come. At 115,000, it's been well taken care of by me and by lots of others, and so I think that's here's a nice big old Home Depot. I know I can get into their parking lot. Find a place where I won't bother anybody. Go. I'm going to pull over here with the big trucks, kind of blend in a little bit. Park right here. I'll shut her down. That we're going to walk to the back. I think you can get a view of the inside here. This is, of course, where we were sitting, and there's that panoramic view. That's what you're looking at, that upper window now. And then there's a little bar. Put a couple of bottles of whiskey inside there, and your shot glasses there, and then this thing folds down, make you a nice dinner table. We use our big camp chairs and put one here and one there. You can see there's a bolt pattern in the floor. At some point there had been two captain's chairs here. I believe that's a little bit too crowded, and so I'm glad they weren't here when we got it. Couch will fold out to right about where my foot is, somewhere in that range, and makes a nice little full-size bed. And here's our kitchen, the microwave. This is the new, virtually brand new Dometic, I guess. You can see right now we're stopped, and it will turn on, and it automatically goes to, in this case it's going to gas, and it's going to go off propane. There's an 18-pound propane tank, nice big one. So but it will cool down and run on gas until you have electricity. Yeah, the freezer is in there. I've got ice cube trays. And these are speakers hooked to the main radio. And there's an oven. You can actually bake a meal. The microwave. The sink. Here is the fuses and the converter. It converts the power from, when the generator's going or when you're plugged into house power. Make sure that you can get your 12-volt systems charged up as well as your big systems. And here's the bathroom. You can see it's a full-size, virtually a full-size shower. And I can get in there, and it's big, and a nice sink and cabinet space up above for drugs and medicines and things like that. And lots of drawers over here, and toilet paper and stuff goes down here. And the toilet, it's winterized now, so that pink is antifreeze. I haven't de-winterized it. There's a possibility of another freeze. Then this is a full-size closet, and it goes way back in there. There's another table that'll go in out front if you want. But you got a space to hang up quite a bit of clothes, and then you've got a shelf on top for shoes and things like that. And then there's a window going out back. We just keep that closed. It just cracks open just a tiny bit. So anyway, that's the gist of the unit, and you can see the rest of it in the pictures. That's the blow fan. And here, down there is the carbon monoxide and poison gas detector. And the fire detectors up there, and there's the heating and cooling unit. It will heat as well as cool when you're plugged into house power or when you have this going. So let's see if we... There it goes. So that is the generator. And so as of now, I could turn the air conditioner on here. The refrigerator can go to electric power instead of gas if we wanted it to. We also have a gas heater. We'll turn that up. I think you can hear out of those vents. That is the gas heater. In case you really are somewhere where it's cold, we've never had to use that. Because this unit up here has heat, fan, and cooling, and then you adjust your thermometer temperature there, and it blows out from the roof unit. So let's turn this back off. That's the end of that. Alright, shut the fan off. And now we'll sit back down here one more time. I'll just start it up. I don't even have my foot on the gas for this. I think it'll just fire right over. Yeah, there it goes. So it's smooth, in good shape. It's tuned up. New plug wires. New alternator not too long ago. Good batteries. House battery and the car battery. The only bump in the whole road is right here. The last trip 2 months ago, I took out to Grand Canyon and Flagstaff, and temperature changed there, and unfortunately I collect rocks, and I had one sitting and it was wedged down and touching the glass, and I hadn't thought about it. So when I drove from low altitude to high altitude, the change in temperature caused the glass to expand, and bam, I cracked it. So that's on me, and so whoever buys it, I will have that replaced as long as you pay full price. If you try to negotiate with me, then we'll have to talk about, you know, the glass, because I'm not going to do too much. I'm not going to come down too much off of where I am right now, because like I said, I've got that expense right there facing me, and I'll take care of that. I've just been waiting for the weather to warm up, because I prefer to put one of those in when the temperature is consistently above 70, and we have had pretty cool mornings so far this spring. But anyway, that's the end of our right. I guess you can listen to what's on the radio. There's a radio station. Don't use those much anymore, but I use my Wi-Fi, and we have speakers that do the Bluetooth thing, and so we listen to the music off our own phones when we're driving. But anyway, and there's a ashtray for those of you that still smoke, and this is actually a cassette keeper. You put your cassettes in there. So this is an old cassette player, and we have some old cassettes, and it works great. So anyway, that's all I can tell you at this point. Let's see. Windshield wipers work, headlights work, the cruise control works. You know, everything works. And I'm going to crank that AC back up again, because it's hot out today, and I'm a big boy and I get warm easily. So give me a call if you're interested, or connect with me via eBay or RV Trader, and let me know if you're interested. Thank you.